Well, what it is, guys, what's going on? So, a lot of updates. So, we added, you can see that chain and those two poles in the T5. Added a 39 watt T5 fixture that I had lying around. Light bulb just came in. Done a lot of maintenance this last week. We did a huge water change. Added the final amount of lava rock that I've been acquiring from Petco for free. They actually don't have a way to charge me for it. So they, whenever they have excess or bulk, because I come in and I'm a regular and I purchase all my fish from them, they end up just giving me some of the leftover lava rock, and it's been great. So this whole side just really filled in. I took all the busted up rocks that I wasn't using and got rid of them. And let's see what else. We have one yellowtail damsel that got eaten, so I'll have to end up replenishing my damsels once. They've done all the remodels at Petco recently, so I'm waiting for them to restock. It's going to take a while for them to cycle their tanks and get some of the cooler fish back in. We'll see if they, what direction they're going with that. The humu almost died. The humu trigger. He he shouldn't be laughing, but it was kind of funny. He got sucked into that power head in the middle. I switched the power heads from the side back to the center. I've tried every which way to Sunday to get the right flow, and I think this is just the best with the rocks getting moved around. I think that's the best flow that I can achieve with this dimension of tank and where the placement of the inlet and the outlet are on this tank. But he swam a little bit too close to the top of it and got sucked into the top, and I immediately turned it off. It must not have been that long since I noticed it, but immediately turned it off, ran over there, and I had to slowly pull him out. He didn't have any damage, but he was terrified. He wouldn't come out of the rocks for 3-4 days. And I've tried a lot of things to try and get rid of the gunk in the sand, everything I can. This coral is really growing in. It's finally attached to the lava rock. I'm thinking of bringing some of the zoas I took out of the tank back to work. I fed all these corals on the side, the Goniopora. I don't even know what that one's called. The green star polypy thing. And I did feed the mushroom coral some reefroids. I just got in some reefroids, and they seem to love it. Although I will say they are really taking their time feasting on the reefroids and coming back out. It's kind of closed up. And I moved that Goniopora up from being on the side of the rock there. I just didn't like how it was placed. But you can see there's a lot more light filtering in here. The center is kind of lacking, but because of how I placed the power heads, I had to put the underwater light kind of off center. So maybe it's not a big deal right now because I don't have any corals in the middle, but maybe as time goes by, they grow in. I maybe add some corals to the center area here. I'll end up getting another one. Just get as much flow and light as possible. But everyone else seems to be doing healthy and happy. Of course, I always have a damsel or two go missing. And I really love this new trigger. He's really beautiful guy, showing off. He thinks I'm going to feed him. They love their seaweed for sure. But he is just gorgeous. I love his colors and everything. And he'll be a big boy. He'll be about the size of a Nerf football. So I'll probably end up having to move him home. This guy hasn't grown all too much. Seems like he's kind of maxed out. But that humu, from what I've seen at the pet store, he might be getting pretty beefy here before I know it. I did a full clean out of the sump. I literally disconnected all the lines, disconnected all the pumps in there, skimmer, and I took the whole thing out by hand with all the water in it and just dumped it out. Just dumped all that gunk out, rinsed it out really good. Put it in a new ammonia reducer, put in a new bag of carbon, and I used to keep the carbon and the ammonia up here, and I realized it was really hindering some of the flow, so got rid of that. And I use, I guess what you call it, polyester fiber as my main filter instead of filter sock. Just, I have a spot for a filter sock down there. I should probably be using it. Probably in for some reason, I just like the ability to just come in, throw it out, put a new piece in every day, call it good. Yeah, you can see just the wave is just really going nuts on this tank, so I might have the flow a bit high, but we'll see. We'll see how everyone reacts to it. Maybe I'll have to turn it down a bit. I think it is a bit high. It's hard to say. I'm really trying to bring that coral back to life. The war coral. I can't tell if it's dead or not. Looks like there's a little bit of growth on the inside there, so I flipped it around to that side and just blasting it with the LEDs to try and get the par to it and get it what it needs to photosynthesize with the zooxanthellae in it. And maybe it's dead, who knows, but I'm going to give it a shot. I just had a season here at work where I just was so busy I didn't have a chance to really keep up with the tank. But I'm really giving it my all right now. Did all my testing not too long ago. Ammonia 0, nitrite 0. The nitrate is a little bit high. I did a buffer, so I'll have to retest that. See where my alkalinity is coming in. And magnesium is good, so I still have to do the calcium. I have to redo the alkalinity and the pH because I added a buffer to see if I can bring it back up. So let's see how that's working. Let's see here, just out of curiosity. Let's take a look here. I know this one's off a little bit, but we're gonna see where it's at. If we can get a good reading off that, let's see. There we go. It's about 0.23 gravity because it's one off. So I do need to add some more salt. So I'm going to do that, just slowly bring it back up. But other than that, what else is new? I'm undecided whether to get the final components for 72 gallon or just to keep trying with this guy until I get this one down. I thought about at least cycling the tank, getting the rock and the sand and just start cycling it, and cycle it for as long as possible, and then focusing my efforts on this one. But I've been having so much fun with this guy. I don't know. Maybe just do my best with this one and just keep it up until I really have some success, and then move on. See what happens. But other than that, I think that's about all the updates. I jumped back into WoW Classic. That's been kind of fun. Play a couple days a week. Level 42 Druid on Mizrael, a Horde Druid. My servers are bizarre. It's like 80% Alliance to 20% Horde, so we'll see how that works out long term. Right now I'm leveling, so it doesn't really matter. I wonder how many of you guys jumped it back into WoW Classic. Oh, and I might be getting back into tarantulas, so there's just a lot going on. The other tank got cleaned up as well. I'm going to do a water change, but that's just a little fouler tank. Nothing really crazy, but hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll upload again before you know it.